what I like to do is just really just mimic the position itself. So I take a weight, and then I just literally take my stance that I would take for a regular back squat with the barbell, and then I just go into this position and really try to let my hips sink in as much as possible, as low as possible, and then the upper body as well needs to be as upright as possible and very rigid. Like you want to have as much rigidity. You want to have as much like tightness as possible, basically, from your lower half to your upper body as well. Very important to not let your upper back round like this, for example. Let your core be weak. You really want to have a nice braced stomach, and you want to have your upper back nice and tight as well, and you want to keep that chest as upright as possible. Look in front of you. Maybe do like me and keep your head up like this. It really helps me once in a while to keep my chest up, because where you look is where your chest will probably go. If you look down, your chest will probably collapse down, but if you look up, your chest will probably stay up, and then you can mimic a squat like this. Go again, like this. So yeah, this is really to just let my hips open up, because when you get into this position, you'll feel all kinds of things going on. For me, it's my hips that are very tight, like right here. So what I like to do, if I feel that my hips are really tight, I just go into a hip stretch like this. I've done this one multiple times in my videos before, but it's one of the best ones that works for me. I just go like this, keep my back leg right here super straight, and then I like to push out my knee with the back of my arm, and I just literally feel this opening right here, and I even feel right here the side of my hip in the back as well. So it's a really good stretch right here. And then when I'm done, I hold this for about 20 to 30 seconds, and I do this about 2 to 3 times, or until I feel like I'm good and warmed up. Then I go to the next one right here. Then again, this back leg is straight, and then I push out with the back of my arm on my knee, but I keep my foot very flat. Very important, keep your foot flat right here, and then just chill and let this open. Let your hips open up, you know? Oh man, this one is, I'm feeling this right now. I'm getting very warm, and it's kind of hard to do because I'm feeling tight today. My hips are feeling tight, but this is going to help. And then you can go again in your deep squat position after that. It should feel a little bit more better. Right now my hips are feeling a little bit better, but one thing I noticed is my ankles are a little bit tight. So next up, basic, effective. Keep your foot flat right here, okay? And then put your weight on the top of your leg to put pressure right here on the ankle joint. For me, it's right here, that's really tight. And then I just go back and forth like this, keeping my foot flat, and I just work the ankle right here. I just do as much repetitions as needed. I usually go for like 10 each side, and that's really gonna help get your knees traveling past your toes, which is good for your squats, to have a deep squat. Okay, it's essential basically. If you can't have good ankle mobility, you won't have a deep squat. It's gonna really limit you. So I do this as much as needed per side. And I just like to keep my knee back here on the ground personally. And then I just literally try to keep this foot flat and try to make my knee travel as far as possible past my toes. And then when I do this, like right here, I can really feel the ankle joint working and trying to like loosen up, you know. And then I keep my weight. I take my squat stance that I would regularly take for my barbell that I want to do today. I put my toes out a little bit personally, like I don't keep my toes straight. I put my feet out a little bit like this. And then I go into my squat. Chest as upright as possible, keep the weight close to you. Look in front of you. chest upright. The number one thing I think that's very important when it comes to having a deep squat is to actually practice having this deep squat position with no weights on. Basically just body weight stuff. Just practice your squats and practice holding these deep squat positions and practice letting yourself be uncomfortable a little bit. It will not be comfortable to get into these positions at first, but the more you do them, the more comfortable you're at them, and then you can really be more comfortable in this position. Like 10 minutes ago, my hips would kind of hurt a little bit, but now that I'm warm, everything feels so much better. And then what I like to do is to actually practice some speed squats with good technique, not let my core be loose, for example. Always have a deep breath before going down. So basically, I take a deep breath before every single rep before I go down. So put my hands in front of me, then I take a deep breath, and then brace my core and try to really brace everything here, brace my glutes, and then I go down as fast as possible and come back up as fast as possible. So in between each rep, I take a deep breath. Every single rep, very important. It doesn't matter if it's body weight squats or if it's barbell squat. Before every single rep, deep breath, big brace, very, very tight stomach, and then go. Because when you do this like this, not only your lower body is very tight, but your upper half is very, very tight as well, very rigid. And then that means better stability. And then that means you can come back up faster and easier. And then at the end, I like to just relax in this deep squat and really get the feel of it.
So here, getting back into heavier weights lately, I've been starting to use a belt again as well. But what I think of going down is really deep breath and then a deep brace, meaning I brace everything, my whole body, and I try to go down fast on my squat so I can squat back up fast. But if I squat slow on the way down, I'll come back up slow as well and expend a lot of energy. So it's not very good for me. I need to go fast or at least a decent speed to come back up and have that stretch reflex in my hamstrings. And as well, it's very important to practice my back tightness. Sometimes I tend to forget to tighten my back before I go down on my squat. So everything I've been doing with these heavier weights, this for example is heavy for me. So I'm just trying to practice getting better and getting more consistent with it.